So I came to that conclusion. So I was like, right, I have to become Muslim now. How do I now become Muslim? So I searched it. We didn't actually have Google. That's how old I am. There was no Google in those days. There were some search engines though, and or at least if Google was probably there, but it wasn't popular like that. So we searched, how do I become Muslim? And it's interesting to see that search happens millions of times every month. Google keeps statistics about searches, how many searches a month. In the English language, last time I looked, there were in excess of 10 million searches a month. How do I become Muslim? Not to say that's 10 million people, but many people are searching all the time. How do I become Muslim? How do I accept Islam? How can I be Muslim? And similar to that. Millions of searches every month. So I searched. I got some answers. Some of them were right, some of them were wrong. The problem I got, and this is now the problem, is you want to become Muslim. But what happens? Now the Muslims start ruining it for you. Hadahumullah. Allah guide them, they start ruining things for you. They start giving you wrong information. So the first thing they said is, you can't be a Muslim unless you go to the masjid. In other words, unless you do your shahada in the masjid. So a miskeen guy was climbing a mountain, slipped, he's hanging one edge, hand off the cliff, he feels his life going away, but I'm sorry, you can't accept Islam unless you can manage for someone to pick you up and take you to the masjid and put a microphone in front of you. Jahil people. Wallahi, akhi, if you want to be jahil, no problem. But don't spread your jahil to other people. Don't spread that ignorance out to other people. You stop that person from accepting Islam because you told him you cannot accept Islam unless you stand in front of a crowd on Jumu'ah and speak in front of the microphone. Akhi, this is not Islam. The second thing they told me, you have to have 2 witnesses. So the guy hanging off the cliff is fine if someone else is hanging on the cliff with him. Or there's someone trying to rescue him from the top, he can be his witness. Who said 2 witnesses? Wallahi, this is just compound ignorance, wallahi. And until today, the reason I'm going to be harsh with this, I'm going to be rough with you, because until today I see the same thing with new Muslims. Wallah, miskeen, the brother comes in, and the people from the first day he accepts Islam, they start telling him wrong things in his ear. Not out of spite. Wallah, the person wants khair for him, but wallahi, he doesn't know. I just give a random example. So, new Muslim, nice brother. When I saw him, he had a full head of hair. I saw him 2 days later, he shaved all his hair off. He had his hair braided. His hair was braided to his head, in braids. The next day I see him, his hair's all shaved off. I say, Akhi, what happened? He said, Wallah, the brother told me it's haram. Ya Akhi, where did you get this? Wallahi, these people, what do they say? هذا حلال وهذا حرام ليفتروا على الله الكذب. They say this is halal and this is haram to make a lie against Allah. Akhi, why you tell the brother to shave his head off? Shave his hair, why? Wallah, we don't see anyone looks like that in our masjid. Habibi, you don't make your religion like that. Your religion is not like that. Your religion is قال الله وقال رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. Bring a dalil, you bring a hadith, bring something. But just somebody doesn't know something, so he told him. This is just a simple example, but this happens all the time with new Muslims. Someone walks in the door, the number one thing I see these days, tattoos. Of course, we're living in a time where a lot of people have tattoos, right? The guy comes in, says, Akhi, can't pray. Type, what shall he do? Cut his skin off? We take a razor blade and skin him. Yani, what shall we do? Akhi, the brother just became Muslim. Of course he can pray. What shall he do? Yani, he cannot, if he can remove it, alhamdulillah, go and remove it. Yani, better. But if you can't remove it, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Pray as you are. There's nothing wrong with who you are now. You've accepted Islam. Islam has wiped it out. Still, brothers, looking at making life hard for this brother because he came in and he has a tattoo on his arm or he has one on his hand. Wallah, if he had one on his face, I don't know what they would do to him. Why speak about something you don't know? Of course we know tattoos are haram. The Prophet ﷺ made it from the kaba'ir, from the major sins. But if somebody had that and then they accepted Islam, Islam wipes out what came before. If they can remove it, alhamdulillah, remove it. If they can cover it, alhamdulillah, cover it. But if you can't, fear Allah as much as you can. Do the best what you can.